Hi, I'm Kevin America. Welcome to my class. Today we're going to talk about probably the three most common prepositions and the two ways in which we use them. We're going to talk about in, on, and at. Check it out. This is a triangle. Okay? Now this triangle is divided into three parts. Down here at the bottom is the smallest part. That smallest part is at. Up at the top is the largest part. That's in. And of course, in the middle is on. All right. Now, these three prepositions, in, on, and at, are used to answer two very important questions. They're used for a lot of things. But today we're just going to talk about answering the question, where? Where is something? And when? When is something? Right? Okay. Now, for the purposes of the in, on, at triangle, we're not talking about where is the pen? The pen is in my pocket. Right? I'm not saying, where did he go? He's in the kitchen. The pen is on the table. No. We're not talking about that. Okay? We're going to answer the question where by looking down at a map. Okay? And we're going to find specific locations and large areas. So whenever we're talking about here, for the in, on, at triangle, for where, we're actually just going to look at large places. We're not on the ground looking, where did it go? Oh, it's on the table. No. We're talking about large places. So what are the largest places you can think of? Let's look at a map. What's the largest kind of place that's on a map? How about a continent? Right? I live in North America. In North America. Do you live in Asia? Oh, you moved. Now you live in Africa. Well, that's fantastic. Remember, I don't live at North America, and I don't live on North America. I love living in Asia. Okay, so what's smaller than a continent? A country. Right? I live in the United States. I have some very good friends that live in Venezuela, in Thailand. Right? So we live in a country. Okay, what's smaller than a country? A state. Now, I am from the United States, so I want to say state every time. But by state, I mean it could be a state, a province, a prefecture, a region, right? It depends on how your country is divided into pieces. Whatever you call that, you live in that state, in Hubei, China, in Oregon. Okay? I live in Oregon, but I've lived in many states in the United States. So what's smaller than a state? A city. Let's do that. So we live in a city. Now, once again, by city, I mean it could be a city, it could be a village, it could be a town, it could be just a group of 5 families who live in one place. As long as that place has a name, you live in that village. In that village, right? Okay, all right. So I live in North America, in the United States, in Oregon, in Medford. That's the name of the city that I live in. So let's talk about at. Let's come all the way down to a very specific place on a map. Okay, the most specific kind of place you can find on a map. Now imagine I call my pizza guy. I say, hey, pizza guy, I want a pizza. And he says, oh, that's great. Where should I bring it? Where are you at? Well, I don't want my pizza to go to my neighbor. He's nice, but I want my pizza. I don't want my pizza to go to the man across the street. I want my pizza to come to my house. How do I do that? Well, I am at 123 4 Kevin Street. 1234 Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon, USA. Right? That's my address, 1234 Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon, USA. That's where I live. So I live at 1234 Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon. That's great. Nice. But when my friend calls me, hey, how are you? And I go, oh man, I'm great. Let me tell you, I'm watching some television and we're having a great time. And he says, where are you? Do I say, oh, I'm at 1234 Kevin Street? No, it's my friend. I say, I'm at home. Right? So we see that even though it's at 1234 Kevin Street, I don't have to say the whole address. I can just say I'm at home or at the supermarket. Right? At the beach. I don't have to know what the address of the beach is to say I'm at the beach. Right? So, here we go. In for big places, at for very specific places on a map. But what's on? What am I going to do with on? Well, strangely enough, on is just basically for one thing. Roads. You're on a road. I'm good at this. You're on a road, right? And by road, I mean road, street, boulevard, avenue, lane, right? You could be on Sheldon Avenue or on Kevin Street or on Main Boulevard or on Broadway Lane. Whatever that is, if it's long and narrow and people drive up and down it, you're on that. So all the places along that road are on that road. It could be very long and there's a lot of places that are on that road. Right? So when you get confused, you say, oh, I live on Kevin Street. Oh, where on Kevin Street? Oh, I live at 1234 Kevin Street. That's when you become at right there. Okay? So, let's do it with me. Here we go. I live in, you can say where you live. I live in North America, in the United States, in Oregon, in Medford. I live on Kevin Street. I live at 1234 Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon, United States. I live at home. I live at the beach. Right? That's great. But let's look. This is kind of an interesting thing. 1234. Wait, Kevin Street. Isn't that the name of a road? Wait a minute. Why am I using at when I've got an on in the name of it in my address? Oh, what about this? Medford, that's the name of a city, right? Why am I using at when I've got the name of a city? Shouldn't that be in? Oh, and here's a state, that's in, and here's a country, that's in. Why am I using at for this stuff that's on and in? Well, because if you're using one preposition for all of this information, if you're putting a lot of information into one thing, you use the smallest preposition that you have. So if you are here, then you're at. But if you are here, then you're on. Right? So let's do an example. I live, because that's the best example ever. I live 1234 Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon, USA. Okay, now I'm saying all of this in one sentence, and I'm only going to use one preposition for all that. What preposition do I use? But I'll tell you, I live at 1234 Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon, USA. Now it's hard to tell because here I've got Kevin Street, here I've got Medford, Oregon, USA. This is all on, this is all in, but this is at, right? So if you're using all of this, you want to use the smallest one. So I'm saying all of this information, but I'm only using one preposition, so it's going to be the smallest preposition that is appropriate. Ah, I live at 1234 Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon, USA. But wait a minute, what if I just said Kevin Street? I live Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon, USA. Let's see, I have Medford, so that be in, I live in, right? I have Oregon, oh, that's a state. Shouldn't that be in? I live in. Oh, USA, that's a country. I live in, right? Oh, but I have Kevin Street, and Kevin Street is road. That's on. So I live on. If I have all of this information, then I come down to the lowest one. Now, I didn't get any lower than this. I didn't talk about where I was at. I just talked about what road I was on and bigger places, right? So I just have road and all this stuff. So I'm going to say I live on Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon, USA. Hey, Kevin, where do you live? You know what? I live on Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon, USA. Really? I thought you lived on Sheldon Avenue, Medford, Oregon, USA. No, no, no. That was before. Now I live on Kevin Street, Medford, Oregon, USA. Great. But maybe I don't even say what street I'm on. Let's take this off. Okay, and try it again. Where do I live? What do I have? I've got one thing here. It's a city. That's green. That's going to be in. I have a state, Oregon, in, right? I live in Oregon. And I have a country. That's in. So I live in. Huh? So, where do you live? Oh, I live in Medford, Oregon, USA. Do you see? That's a perfectly common answer. Where do you live? Oh, I live in Medford, Oregon, USA. No problem. So that's the rule. Make sure you come down to the smallest one that is being used. But if you're not using this small one, then don't use it. Go up to here. If you're not using this, then don't use it. Come up to here. You see? Good. Okay. Wonderful. Now, that's where, right? I live in a big place, on a road, and at a very specific place. What about when? We can use in, on, at to answer the question, when does something happen? When is your birthday? When is Christmas? Right? So let's think of the largest kind of time we can think of. What's the largest time? A year? No, let's get bigger than a year. What about a century? 100 years is a century. A century is 100 years. So when was I born? I was born in the 20th century. In the 20th century. I was born in the 1900s. So from 1900 to 1999 is the 1900s. Good. So what's smaller than a century? Still big place, or still big time, but smaller than a century. What about 10 years? That's a decade, right? So I was born in the 1970s, right? Or what about a year? I was born in 1972. I was born in the 1900s, in the 1970s, in 1972. So we're still in. Now let's come down. What's smaller than a year? There's 12 of them. A month. Exactly. So I'm still in a large time, a month. I was born in November. In a month. Okay, good. So I was born in the 20th century, in the 1970s, in 1972, in November. Now let's talk about at. Let's talk about a very specific time. What is the most specific kind of time we can think? Well, what time is class? Oh, class is at 7 o'clock. Great. So a time of day is at. But wait a minute. We were a little late for class today, so class is usually at 7 o'clock, but today we began at 7:02. Oh, okay, right on, that's nice. That's a specific time of day that we are at. But just like this, we have all the numbers to tell where we are at But then I don't know the address of the beach, so surely there are some times that don't have numbers. What about at sunset? Right? What about at lunch? Hey, Kevin, will I see you at lunch today? Oh, I can't. I'm super busy. I'm sorry. I won't see you at lunch today, but I will see you at dinner, right? So suddenly a meal can be a time of day. And sunset is where the sun goes behind the world. That's a time of day, even though we don't really know the number. What time is that? I don't know. But we are at sunset, at lunch. So that leaves on. What's on? Pretty obvious, right? What are we missing? A day, but it's said two different ways. Check it out. So we use on for a day or a date, right? So what's the difference between a day and a date? You know, I have a lot of learners, a lot of clients, and a lot of students who are very clever and they come up with very good answers for this, which are pretty good and really accurate. But here's the easy way to know what's a day and what's a date. A day has a name, and a date has a number, right? That's what I'm talking about. So a day has a name, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But a date has a number, the 4th, the 17th, the 23rd, right? Good. So big times in, small times, specific times at, and days and dates on. So let me answer a question. When were you born, Kevin? I'd love to tell you. Here we go. And you can answer too. Follow along with me, okay? I was born in the 20th century. I was born in the 1970s. I was born in 1972. I was born in November. I was born on Thursday. I was born on the 26th. And I was born at 7:02 p.m. I was born at sunset. I was born at dinner time. Haha, see? In for big places, at for small, on just for days and dates. So let's do some examples so we can learn. Here we go. Babidi boop bop sabidi. I was born 7:02. Actually, we should do the whole thing in black so that we can illustrate. Okay. I was born 7:02 p.m. Thursday. 2 p.m. Thursday, November 26th. Don't forget the TH. All right, it's an ordinal number. November 26th, 1972. Fantastic. Okay, boom. So let's look. What do we have? What are the different times we have? 7:02 p.m. is definitely specific, right? That's for sure at. And what about Thursday? What is that? Thursday is a day. So that's going to be on in blue, right? And let's see what else. Thursday, November. What's November? November is a month. November is a month, so that's for sure in, right? But the 26th, let's see, is that a decade? That's a date. The 26th is a date, right? That's the number. And 1972 is a year. So for sure in, right? We're in 1972. Okay. So let's do it. I was born, on Thursday, comes down to on, okay. Comes down to in, no, for sure, we even have on in there. At, look at that, I've got at. So the smallest one is the one you want to use if you're using the whole thing. So I was born at 7:02 p.m. Thursday, November 26th, 1972. Cool, right? Okay, but what if I don't know what time I was born? Right? Do you know what time you were born? Well, let's pretend you don't, okay? So I was born, let's see, Thursday, November 26, 1972. So I've got some greens in there for sure, but that's not the smallest. I've got two blues, a day and a date, so that's going to be the smallest. Do I have any ats in there? No, I have no ats. So, when were you born? I was born on Thursday, November 26th, 1972. Aha! On. Good. But what if I don't know what day I was born on? Look at this. Do you know if you were born on a Sunday or a Tuesday or a Saturday? I actually don't. I should look it up. That would be cool. But I don't know. So I don't know that I was born on a Thursday. So let's see. I was born November. That's in, right? November is in. But wait a minute. This is a blue. The number is still a date. Even if I don't have a day, I do have a date in here somewhere. Even if it's not the first thing, but the second thing, it's still a date. So I was born on November 26th, 1972. Aha! And I was born in November 1972. I was born in 1972. Aha, there you go. So you want to use the smallest one. If you're including a lot of information in your prepositional phrase and you're choosing one preposition, use the smallest one that is appropriate. Okay? Good. Now, let's English. English is never easy. English is a little funny. So let's confuse you. Here are some exceptions. This is going to be useful almost all of the time. Now you know forever. Big places in, small places at, roads and days on. Great. Fantastic. But there's a couple of times of day that are pretty specific. And yet we kind of use in. What about in the morning? Right? In the afternoon. And in the evening. But at night, I have no idea why. That's just how it is. So in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and at night. There you go. Also on a road, you are also on a river. Okay? River is a good one that if your house is right next to a river, then you live on that river, right? I live on Kevin Street. Wait, isn't that next to the river? Yeah, I live on the river. Oh, man, I didn't know you lived on the Platte River. I do live on the Platte River, you see. Okay, now, after this, you're going to find a lot of different ways to be in, on, at that don't fit this. But mostly it's going to be in your pocket, on the table, okay? And that's not what we're talking about. The in, on, at triangle is fantastic, but it's not meant for looking around, right? It's meant for looking down and to find times. So thank you for joining me in my fantastic class. I hope we learned a lot about in, on, at, and I hope that answered a lot of questions. All right, thank you.